we've been away for a while, and while we've been away, basketball season has wrapped up, right?
Yeah, it's all over. I mean, like you said, it feels like we've been away for the entire PLU basketball season. So we figured we'd jump in and talk a little bit about the PLU basketball season. Let's start with the women. They went 5-20 on the year.
Hey, that's an improvement.
I think
Just
it is
wanna
by
throw that out there.
maybe 2 games. It is. They did look better though as a whole. You kind of say that jokingly,
And
but
they were in a lot more games than they just have been in years past.
absolutely. They picked up wins over Aurora, 43-39 on December 16th, and then the next day they beat Benedictine of Illinois, 59-42. So a couple of big wins back to back there. I think their biggest win of the season took place in front of the hometown fans in Olson Gymnasium on January 20th when they beat Pacific 66-62 in overtime. A couple of players that y'all would like to highlight from that women's basketball team. Like I said, I feel like they looked a lot better than they have in years past. A lot more comfortable shooting the basketball. Just a lot more comfortable playing basketball, which is kind of a tough way to say it, but they look more comfortable.
I'm going to give a shout out to a fellow Puyallup Viking.
Oh, there you go.
She's a freshman here. She's a 6-foot forward, Madison Salisbury. Actually went to school with her brother, so giving her some publicity right now. She actually earned honorable mention All Northwest Conference, which came out a few days ago, but she averaged 13.1 points per game and 5.9 rebounds per game. Like I said, yes, she is a freshman, so I think Coach Jen Childress has a building block right here for the future, and if she can put some other players around her, I think we can see that win total go up even more from 5 games and maybe get to 500. Couple wins.
Madison Salisbury covers more ground without dribbling the basketball player than any other basketball player in the Northwest Conference. She uses her pivot extremely well. Like, it looks like she travels all the time, but
that's great insight right there. That's great insight.
I'm telling you, she does well without dribbling the basketball, and she scores a lot of points into the basket. So yeah, good player there to highlight, DJ.
Yeah.
My apologies if I butcher this name, but Kristen Sturtevant.
There you go.
Hey, you got it right.
At 8.2 points per game this year, I believe was second on the team. Also 4.1 rebounds a game and averaged more than 1 steal per game as well. So good on the defensive side of the ball as well.
Mm-hmm. She played a lot of this season because I have a class there, and she has a broken foot.
Yeah, she had a bum foot for a long time.
She played pretty much the whole season, she said, on that bummed foot. And she was actually in a boot. It's PE volleyball. Shout out to that class and Lynn Tucker. But anyways, she had a boot on it last class period on Wednesday. And I mean, like you said, she averaged 8.2 points on a bum foot. Just imagine what she could do with 2 good feet.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, if you're playing hurt all year long, it's not comfortable.
And especially feet in basketball, like that's such a hard thing to do.
Yeah, you're changing direction, you're cutting, you're going back and forth. Like a bum foot's not an easy thing to deal with in any sport, but especially basketball.
No, so like I said, it may not show up in the win total, but the PLU women, I feel, were much improved throughout the season, and good things to come for them in the future, for sure.
Very much so.
Let's switch forward to another program that, unfortunately for us, is looking towards the future. The PLU men went 4-20 under first-year head coach Chad Murray. Murray welcomed 10 newcomers to the program last season, and their youth showed.
Wait, they were newcomers?
Yeah.
So they kind of just blew everything up and didn't have that great of a season.
Well, here you go. We want to talk about it this way. I guarantee you they are going to be better next year than if they were to watch all year long. I can promise that. They're not going to go 4-20 again. Yeah, now you threw me off. Now I'm pissed off.
I'm sorry.
Talk about it. Their biggest win of the year came on January 6th when they beat George Fox at George Fox, down by 2 with 5 seconds left, and Zach Webb hit 2 huge free throws.
My boy Zach
would go on to be the game winner for PLU. Again, the final score of that one, 91-90 at George Fox. You want to highlight a few key players from the men's side this time.
Well, since you brought up Zach Webb, that was the player that I chose to highlight. He was at 8.3 points per game, but his shooting 51% from the field and 77% from the line, so very good shooting numbers. Also 4.5 rebounds a game, so very active on the glass as well.
Seth actually took mine, but so I'll go Dylan Foreman. I mean, the easy one would be Leighton Kingma. Yes, he averaged 13.8 points per game and I think 5.9 rebounds per game. But my boy Dylan, he put in a good 4 years here. I think this year he averaged 8.6 points per game and like 5.2 rebounds per game. I think he could be happy with where he started and where he finished. It kind of sucks the way he went out going 4-20, but I always see him in the weight room. He's always working, and I'm really, really proud of him for the work he put in. And I think overall he had a pretty good career here.
Yeah, y'all mentioned Leighton Kingma, the transfer from Whitman.
Who's, I think, number one in the nation.
They have been number one in the nation all year long, have the Whitman Blues. Leighton Kingma, an amazing three-point shooter.
Yep, as all Kingmas are.
If Leighton were able to just spot up and knock down shots in the corner or on the wing, he would have had a much more productive, even though he did have a productive year, he would have had a much better year, I feel, because of the newness of the program, lack of talent. There, I'm going to be blunt with it. Because of the lack of talent, Leighton was forced to put the ball on the deck, dribble, try and get to the bucket.
It's not his style.
I don't think it is at all.
Nope.
And it kind of is what it is right now. Someone who helped out with that a little bit is the 5'9" freshman point guard Kelton Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all got a chance to see Kelton play. I love Kelton. I think he's a great basketball player. He's super fun to watch, super undersized, as was the entire PLU men's basketball team.
Yeah.
Explosive. I mean, probably you could argue that he's one of the best athletes on this campus across all sports. The kid is so fast, so quick, and was really fun to watch throughout the entire season. Should be better next year under head coach Chad Murray once he gets his feet wet.
I agree, and I felt like in the hire. I mean, last year on the show we were highly critical of the hire, but I think he came in kind of late and kind of started behind the 8 ball. So there's only so much you can do, and 4-20. You start low, and you can only go up from here.
Well, and it's just, you mentioned they had a bunch of new players, but they had a head coach from, I think last stop was in Iowa. He was in the Midwest, and coming out here and trying
to be new to the area and get players from the area to go to the school when he doesn't even know what to highlight about being in this area and playing basketball. I mean, it was tough. It was tough, but they got to play. They were on the floor and they learned a ton. So should be a better year, more comfortable year next year for the PLU men's basketball team.